Shalom, shalom. Kal halal yum la Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Reshak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well within this ministry and taught us this the mouth, which is the truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that preach this truth out the four corners of the globe, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Shalom, shalom. All right, Lord, what's be an edifying lesson? All right, going into how the Lord is gathering these nations, all right, and how the Lord is preparing the enemy to come up against this devil, Esau, Edom, which his chief house is America. All right, the Lord is gathering all the enemies, and when I say the enemies, I mean these other nations, all right, that were once in league with this devil. Now they're starting to, you know what I'm saying, join with certain BRICS nations. You know, then you got these other nations who were once weak. You know, now they're strong. They're being made strong. All right. You got this controversy with, you know, Iran and Israel. You know, right now that's very prominent right now. And of course, we know that eventually, yes, World War III is going to take place. These nations is going to shoot missiles at each other. But other prophecies have to come to pass first. And we're waiting for those other prophecies to come to pass first. All right, so that World War III could be issued in, which also issues in the coming back of Yahweh Shah and the deliverance of the elect, okay? And the destruction of our captivity and this devil. And all of our enemies concerning these heathens, even 2/3, man. All right, but real quick, this is Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord. And once again, that's what we have to do. We have to wait. We have to wait on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because he's the one who's bringing these prophecies to come to pass. You know, the scriptures talk about how, you know, certain prophecies ain't going to come to pass before it's, you know, said measures, roughly paraphrasing. So we waiting on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to execute these prophecies, okay, so that we could get down to the nitty gritty, which is the kingdom on earth, the kingdom of heaven, rulership restored back into Israel, you know, and that's what we waiting for, ultimately. But like I said, other prophecies have to come to pass first, so we're waiting on those prophecies, and in turn, that's you waiting on the Lord, man, which shows faith. And it shows faith and constraint, you know. So it says, wait, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up against the prey, right? Because we can't take matters in our own hands, try to form a militia. All right, we under these curses, first and foremost, that shit not gonna work. And it's not of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's outside of prophecy, you know, trying to force the Lord's hand. Another thing, too, that's what these other heathens is doing. That shit's still not going to work. You got these Edomites, they forming militias. These other different ethnic groups forming militias. You know what I'm saying? And that shit not going to work. Why? Because Esau, Edom has been given the blessing of the sword. You can't come up against this devil in his own blessing right now, okay? The Lord is going to have to bring this devil low. There's nothing we can possibly do physically and carnally to obtain the kingdom, you know, but what we can do is be spiritual, wait on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to rise up against the prey. And that's what the Lord is doing. He's constructing, he's orchestrating the downfall of Esau, Edom as we speak right now. So we have to wait upon the Lord, all right, to execute these things, man. You know, it says, for my determination is to gather the nations that I may assemble the kingdoms, right? And that's what the Lord is doing. He's gathering these different nations, and they're choosing sides. Okay, he's got Iran assembled up there with Russia and China, you know. So therefore, that's going to be their strength. Okay, these different allies that the Lord got these different heathen nations assembled under, that's going to be their strength to come up against this devil, you know, and basically overthrow him. Salakia. All right, it says, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation. And that's what the Lord is doing. He's going to pour upon his indignation, which is a righteous anger, through judgment. And the Lord is going to take out this devil Esau, Edom, by way of thermonuclear missiles. And then after that, eventually, Yahushua going to come back on chariots and basically finish up everything else. And like I said, once again, the kingdom of heaven will be on earth through Yahushua coming back, restoring it unto the Israelites, starting with the elect. All right? But the Lord's going to pour his judgment upon all these different heathen nations, even the ones he used to bring Esau down. And then these different higher up elites, okay, we know that they're going to go straight into captivity, straight into slavery, out of their bunkers, out of their holes, So that's the Lord pouring upon his indignation on these nations. He's going to have them all go to war with each other in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, in the so-called, I'm going to call it so-called Middle East, Western Asia, so to speak, right? And that's when Yahushua is going to come back in the midst of them at warfare. He's going to execute judgment. Scriptures talk about how Yahushua, he's going to come back, the Lord is not going to meet thee as a man, Scriptures talking about the Lord coming back with great power, coming back on a great cloud, with a band of angels. So that's what's going to happen, man. It says, even all my fierce anger for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Meaning all the world is going to feel, everybody is going to feel the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay? Everybody's going to feel the shift and the change of the world and Yahushua being a new ruler, man. All right, the scriptures say, matter of fact, let me just grab it real quick. Revelation chapter 19, verse 19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth. See, the beast is the system that you have here right now. Okay, it's trying to push this new world order agenda. That's trying to push this tiny technology. You know what I'm saying? This beast system, which is spearheaded by America. America being Rome 2.0. But this beast system will uphold, different philosophies. It will uphold democracy. It will uphold, the gang, alphabet gang. And it will push these different black culture. It will push these different things on the people so Esau can have full control over them, And so when Yahushua come back, he's going to take down this beast system, because this beast system is the reason why these other kings, these other nations, rulers of these other nations have power. It's because of Esau, Edom has made an agreement with them, and these different nations has gotten in bed with America. That's why in Revelation 17, it calls America the whore. Revelation 18 calls America a whore, because this place has committed, this place has basically fornicated with these other nations and basically made these other nations get on the bandwagon of further oppressing the Israelites. So when Yahushua come back, he's going to take down these different kings of the earth, these heathen rulers, right? Heathen elites, and you damn Edomites, man. Okay, no matter what tribe you are, no matter what nation you're ruling, what kingdom you're ruling, he's going to take down all these different heathens. So it says, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. Now, this is talking about the time of World War III, where ram against another ram, all right, and Yahushua coming back to subdue these other nations. Yahushua, okay, is the one that sat on the horse, And Yahweh Shah sitting on that horse representing him coming back with great and full power. And that horse represents power, man, which it speaks about Yahweh Shah being on that white horse in Revelation 6. Okay? Yahweh Shah, when he come back, he going to come back on a great big fathership, a great big chariot. And he going to come back with a band of angels. And what they going to do, they going to issue forth judgment, man. Okay? With the sword. So it says, verse 20, and the beast was taken, and with him, oh, this ain't even a scripture. Salakia. Let me go to the scripture I'm looking for. Thought it was this. Oh, it's 19 and 12. Revelation 19 and 12. This ain't it either, man. Oh, okay, this is it. Revelation 19 and 12. I'll start at 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. Now let's talk about Yahweh Shah, right? Okay, it says verse 12, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And this is speaking about Yahweh Shah because it's giving a description. All right, it's matching up with Revelation 6, you know, with Yahweh Shah coming back on the white horse, right? And the fact that in verse 11, he's called Faithful and True in righteousness, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. We know that's Yahweh Shah. So it says his eyes were a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Now his eyes being a flame of fire, we know Yahweh Shah, okay, has this description that his eyes are red, you know, and that matches up with Revelation 1 and 14. So we know this is talking about Yahweh Shah, and we know that when he come back, he gonna have many crowns upon his head. And that's symbolic for Yahweh Shah taking down and ruling over these different heathen leaders in their kingdoms. All right, ruling over these different, conquering and ruling over these different land masses and over these different nations of people. It says, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Right? And Yahweh Shah is gonna get his glory back, man. You know? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, his name is going to be renewed. His name is going to be restored back into the earth to be worshipped by all people. You know, I'm going to say that again. His name is going to be restored into the earth that he will be worshipped by all people. Okay? Meaning everybody's going to know who's doing these judgments. Everybody's going to know Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah, and they're going to give great reverence and fear to him. You know, it's not talking about Yahweh Shah name changing. He's going to have a different name in the kingdom. No, it's speaking about the Lord's reputation is going to be renewed by this judgment, which he's going to execute, man. So it says, okay, now let me grab this. And Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and the ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Right, and this is the spirit of these different heathens that they coming in, man. All right, because they have nuclear arsenal now, and they have strong. They have a strong alliance of nations to back them up, so they're no longer scared to stand on business when it comes to, you know, certain shit with America. They're not scared to, press the fucking button, so to speak, man. You know? And that's why, once again, that's why you got this conflict with Israel and Iran. It's because it's all going to lead to prophecy. And I'm going to just keep reading. It say, verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Right? These other heathens have been forsaken by Esau, Edom. You know? By way of agreements, treaties, contracts, wars, tariffs, trade wars, So with these things being said, you got different these goddamn the small hats, over there committing genocide. And America is basically funding them, backing them up. And these other nations see that shit and they don't like it, man. They don't like the way how America deal with these other nations. They don't like how the way America deal with their own inhabitants, man. They don't even like the way this place is ran. So America is greatly despised. So how much more, you elite Edomites, okay? How much more you low-level ass governors and politicians and so forth and so on. America is greatly despised, and there's great shameful spewing on this place, man. So now America has been made small among these different other nations. Why? Because once again, America is not the only one who can drop bombs, all right? And America is not the only one with a strong allegiance behind them of nations. So it says, verse 3, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Right, the pride of this devil has deceived him because he thinks he's unstoppable. He thinks he's untouchable, which the Lord allowed this devil to come up with the, ability to be able to create these different atomic weapons, The Lord put the spirit on this devil to be able to have the blessing of the sword, and the fatness of the earth through his sword. Now that's going away. All right, the Lord is taking his blessing away. And Esau, Edom is feeling this shit, man. Okay, that's why eventually he gonna come down with that sword with great wrath, because that's gonna be all he got left. So this devil pride has deceived him because he think he about to take over the world. He think he about to fulfill his NWO agenda and have the masses sea-hipped, right? And he think he about to win this World War III, so to speak. So he has been deceived. The Lord basically put him in a trick bag. Scriptures say he's gonna disappoint the devices of the crafty, man. And that's what's gonna ultimately be his ultimate. That's gonna be a stumbling block. That's gonna be his ultimate stumbling block, man. When he think he about to rebuild his kingdom and fulfill his agenda, that's when the Lord is gonna come back, man, and take dominion, and take ownership back. And you gonna raise up the elect, and the elect is gonna be restored. Israel, the whole nation of Israel, is gonna be restored here on earth. So, however Esau plans out, that's not gonna happen. What the scriptures say, that's gonna happen, and that's gonna remain. So it says, whose habitation the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right? It says, verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Right? The Lord is going to bring your ass down, man. It's prophesied that the Lord will have to take dominion from you. It was prophesied that World War III will have to come to pass in order for this devil to lose rulership. Okay? And that when he lost rulership, he would never gain it back again. And that Israel would take the kingdom and reign forever and ever, man. And that when no other heathen rise up against us and take it back, none of that shit. Okay? So even though this devil, he's exalting himself, exalting his kingdom, exalting his NWO agenda, exalting his technology, right? Trying to see-hip everybody. The Lord is about to bring this devil down, and this devil know he got a small window to continue to rule. Matter of fact, and once again, the Lord is raising these other nations to take this devil down. He's going to use these other nations, and they're going to get strong. They're going to get the upper hand to take this devil down, man. And once he done using these nations, he going to bring their ass down too. Because their ass got to submit under the reign of righteousness, under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Second Esdras chapter 15. And I'll start at verse 28. Second Esdras 15 and 28. Behold, an horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east. And what is this horrible vision? Okay? It's going to be them damn nuclear missiles entering into the atmosphere again, It's going to be Yahweh Shah coming back, cracking the clouds with a band of angels with him. Okay? So it says, verse 29, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So the Lord is going to put the spirit on these Arab nations, right? Which the word Arab means mixed. Mixed. So these different Arab nations, man, the Lord is going to put a spirit on their ass where they're going to get strong, where they're going to be powerful, all right? And all these other different military, Salaki, these other different nations are going to be in fear, America is going to be in fear. The inhabitants of these other countries is going to be in fear. The rulers and leaders, politicians, prime ministers and so forth, the military might of these different countries are going to be in fear. So it says, verse 30, also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. See? And those Carmanians are referring to those Iranians, man. The Lord going to put the spirit on these Iranians to be back into a wild spirit. All right? Back into their true nature. See, what the Lord is going to do, He's going to put the spirit on all these nations to come upon their true nature. Right? And those Iranians are wild men. And they get active, man. All right? So the Lord going to restore that spirit back into them for this time of war. For the purpose of bringing this devil down, man. All right? And bringing this land, America, down. Bringing the pride of this place down. It says, verse 31, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So this is the Lord, man. This is the Lord putting it back into their minds for them to remember their nature. This is the Lord putting the spirit upon them to come together. All those different Arab nations, they're going to come together, man. All them different Iranians, they're going to come together. And when they come together, they're going to be strong, and they're going to put America in fear. So it's going to come upon a time where America is going to be losing the battle to these different heathens. And right now, the Lord is making them strong, man. So these prophecies could come to pass to take away power from Esau, man. All right? And bring down this place. It says, right, so it's going to be a point in time where these Iranians going to be getting the upper hand. And America is going to be losing, man. All right, which is going to affect the inhabitants. It's going to affect the inner cities, the 50 states. It's going to affect the food supply. It's going to affect a lot of things. But you spoiled Americans, man. You know? So it says, verse 32, then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. Verse 33, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them. I'm going to bring that back, Salakia. Verse 33, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their hosts shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. So this is prophecy, man. During the time of World War III, there's going to be a point in time where these Iranians, right, these Arab nations, they're going to get the upper hand. And they're going to put America in fear. All right? And America, is, because the land of the Assyrians is talking about America. This is also modern Assyria as well. You know? What proves that is Assyria, ancient Assyrians took Northern Kingdom into captivity, and Northern Kingdom, this land was taken away from Northern Kingdom first, you know, and now what's going on with Northern Kingdom, now it's persecution with these different Northern Kingdom tribes, due to America. See, it always happens to where, you know, Northern Kingdom, they get it first. And then the Southern Kingdom, they're going to get it the worst. You know, beautifully said by the elder apostle Ramla. All right? But that's true because the scriptures, the history repeats itself. There's no new thing under the sun. So this place is modern day Assyria, spiritual Assyria as well. This place is spiritual Nineveh, which Nineveh was in Assyria. So that's what it's speaking about. These different, the land of America will be besieged by these different enemies, man. Okay? And once again, it's going to affect you inhabitants of America. You civilians, you Americans, you African Americans. Grab another precept, man. Now I'm going to close out. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 38, and I'm going to start at verse... Start at the top, then I'm going to jump to verse 10. Ezekiel 38:1, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against it, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, right? Which this Gog and Magog is talking about Russia and the leader of Russia, okay, which right now, the modern leader of Russia is Putin, okay, and the Lord is using this devil to basically put that spirit, to put that USSR spirit back on Russia. The Lord is using Putin to put that USSR, Soviet Union spirit back on Russia, man. All right. So it says, verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Right, so the Lord gonna put the spirit on these Russians to ante up, man. Okay, and they're gonna strengthen their military might. They're gonna strengthen their arsenal, their nuclear arsenal, and then they're gonna push that button, man. And they're gonna send their hitters after you Americans. You know, so the Lord gonna put that Soviet Union spirit back on Russia just to overcome this devil, right? Just to overtake this devil. And when he done using you know, the Russians to do that, he gonna put their ass down too, man. You know? Because don't forget, Yahweh Shai is the next in the seat to rule. Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai is the next in the seat to rule with his nation of Israelites, man, starting with the elect. All right, that's the prophecy, and that's gonna be forever. That ain't gonna stop, man. All right. Ain't nobody up in next in rule except for Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai and the Israelites. So you got to keep that in mind, that these heathens, just because the Lord is strengthening these different heathens to bring Esau and America down, that don't mean they about to rule next, man. The Lord gonna bring their ass down too once Yahweh Shai come back. And then these other nations, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna be going to war with each other all the way up until Yahweh Shai come back, according to 2nd Esdras 13. But it says, verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So that's what the Lord, that's who, these different nations, that's what who the Lord is going to use, okay, to bring you down, to bring America down in this third world's war. Now I'm going to jump to verse 10. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Right, so the Lord gonna put the spirit, and he gonna put it in their minds, right? The Russians, he gonna put it in their mind to invade this place, right, and to push the button to finally issue forth their attack on this place, man, and their allies, which is going to drastically affect American citizens. It says, verse 11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling, see, and that's America. America is the unwalled village. You know, hey, this place, you could get in and you could get out. You know, look how these different immigrants got in this motherfucker. So it's easy to get in this motherfucker, man. It's easy to invade this place. All right? And that's what's gonna happen. This place is an unwalled village. Ain't no defense. It's a nuclear defense system, but ain't no type of wall built up to, you know, protect the land from intruders and spies and different shit like that. So therefore, this prophecy is going to overtake this place. All right. It says, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. And that's you inhabitants of America, man. Y'all dwelling safely. You know what I mean? Y'all at rest. Y'all comfortable, settled on y'all leaves. So the Lord is about to send war to rattle you niggas up, man. Okay? And to issue forth ultimate judgment. And what was I just about to say? Salakia. Lost my train. Oh, and that's how you've been deceived. Esau, Edom, and you people of America, y'all been deceived too. Because y'all think y'all about to continue in this careless ass state. Y'all think y'all about to continue at rest. You know, like it said in Revelation, how This place, she says she dwelleth, how she dwelleth carelessly, you know, and she will be no widow. So that's the pride of this place that has deceived this devil and you Americans. Because the Lord indeed is going to bring death, bloodshed, and great travail upon this place, man. Hence the prophecies. It says, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So the Lord is about to do a number on these places, and He's about to use these heathens to do it. Okay, and the only reason He's strengthening these heathens is to bring Esau down. And then He's going to bring the heathens He used to bring Esau down, He's going to bring their ass down. And they all going to be in servitude under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and the Israelites. Okay, that's prophecy. That's what's going to happen. This is Ezekiel 32. I'll close out with this. Ezekiel chapter 32. And I'll read 26. It says, I'm just grab the point. Ezekiel 32 and 28. Yea, thou shalt be broken in the midst of the uncircumcised, and shall lie with them that are slain with the sword. There is Edom. See, it said you're gonna be broken in the midst of the uncircumcised. Speaking about America and in their military, all right. And they're gonna be broken in the midst of these different heathen nations that's gonna be gathered in Western Asia, man, aka so-called Middle East. They're gonna be Edom is gonna be casted down and broken up, him and his military, in the midst of that war. Okay. It says, verse 29, there is Edom, her kings, and all her princes, which with their might are laid by them that are slain by the sword. They shall lie with the uncircumcised, and with them that go down to the pit, meaning the grave. All right? Because there's going to be a lot of dead bodies in that land after this war is over with. That's why the scriptures say, basically how the birds gonna have a feast in that day, you know, different ravenous birds, vulture-like birds and things of that nature. They're gonna feast on those bodies, and the Lord is gonna feed the fowls of the air. All right, off of the bodies that'll be slain in for these different heathen militaries during this war, man. And the only way you can escape this is by faith and works in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and sincerity and truth. But ultimately, you gotta be out of your elect, man. So, like the scriptures say, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right, make thy calling of election sure. Give diligence to make thy calling of election sure, man, so that we could be delivered through all this chaos. All right? Does the scriptures say, how can the good come unless the evil come first? You know? So Lord willing, this be an edifying lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Shalom, shalom. On to the next one.